hope you're all doing well in these weird times. As everything has changed due to COVID-19, we, your Quake leaders, want to make sure that you guys and girls are safe, but can also have fun and keep learning about Jesus. Therefore, we've been working hard to make Quake Online. Here's how it's going to work.
All you need to do is go to Earlwood Anglican's YouTube channel and look for a playlist that says Quake Kids Only. Every week we will upload a few videos, including a talk, some songs, some games, and craft. So when you want to have Quake, just hit play. It's that easy.
For this next part, we're going to need your parents' help. Each week we're going to send them an email with the craft and questions already inside it. All you need to do is print it off and then you can enjoy all of Quake's activities. Now, I know that this might not seem like Quake was, and that's a bit sad, but we hope that we can still have fun even from afar. Now, if you or your parents have any question, just email at us at samuel.c.whitcomb@gmail.com. Other than that, it's time to enjoy Quake Online.
Now, the memory verse that we're going to be learning this term is from Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 11. Now, it's about a lot of the things that we're going to be learning about this term, which is some really important stuff about putting on the armor of God so that we can fight this battle of life. But we know that God has already won. So, I'm going to go through, teach you some actions, and then we'll put it to a song. Ready? Alright. So, the first words are finally be strong. So I want you to go, finally be strong. Get those muscles out, alright? And then in the Lord and in His. So finally be strong in the Lord, point up, and in His, and then mighty power. Mighty power. From the beginning, ready? Finally be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. And then put on the armor of God. So I want you to pretend to put on armor. Maybe here, breastplate, helmet, get out your sword. So put on the armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devils. Ready? So put on the armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's evil schemes. So, put on the armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's evil schemes. Alright, and it's from Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 11. So we're going to go Ephesians, like we're holding a Bible. Then chapter 6, because we're in a fight, I want you to throw some fake punches, but not real ones. So, verses, and then for 10 to 11, I'm going to hold up 10 fingers. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to go 10 to 11. Just improvise, alright? And then we do that last part again. So it's going to be to a song that some of you might know. It's from Aladdin. So let's give it a go.
Finally be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's evil schemes. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 11. Take your stand against the devil's evil schemes. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 11.
Alright, so we'll try to remember that for next week. See you then!
Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Clip clop, clip clop. What are you doing there? What do you mean you're just sitting down? Why aren't you excited? We've won! What What do you mean, who's won? Can't you see the sword and the helmet? I've just come back from battle. Jesus has won. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Sam, why are you being foolish? Why are you sitting there with a tinfoil helmet and a tinfoil sword? That's because today what we're learning about is we're learning about Jesus and how he has already won the biggest battle of all time. And I'm going to explain it using superhero movies. Okay, before we begin on the talk, let me pray. Dear Lord, thank you that Jesus has already won the biggest and most important battle of all time. Thank you that you want us to be on your side and that you love us enough that you sent Jesus to save us. Amen. Now, I want you to put your hands up if you've seen The Incredibles, the Lego Movie, or Harry Potter. And in these movies, there's always a good and a bad. And they fight it over, and they fight it over, and you're not sure who's going to win. You're not sure, and then movie ends, and the good guys win. See, it's the same in the Bible, only it's not a movie. See, in the Bible, there's two main characters who are fighting it out. We have the good side with Jesus and God, and then on the bad side, we have the devil, or Satan, whatever you'd like to call him. Now, they're two very real people, and they were fighting it out for so long, and the thing they were fighting over was us. See, they were fighting over which side we, you and I, would choose. See, Jesus wanted us to be on his side. He wanted us to be with him, to have the perfect relationship with God that was always intended, just like we learnt last term. That was the original plan, and that's what God wanted it to go back to. Perfect relationship. But Satan, he wants us to join his team, even though he knows it's worse. Even though he knows it's bad. There's no benefit for us joining the devil's team. It's just because he is battling Jesus. So we have a good side and a bad side fighting over us. One that cares for us and one that doesn't. But I say was, because as you all probably know, Jesus has won. See, just like when you watch this movie, or this movie, or this movie, after you've already seen it, you know who wins. There's no surprise, and it's the exact same in the Bible. See, ever since Jesus died on the cross, the battle's been over. Satan has already lost. It's not a case of, oh, there might be a surprise challenger. We're not entirely sure. It is over. The battle has been won. But you ask there, then what's the point of, what? So Satan has lost and yet he's already out there? I'm confused. And you're right. See, even though Jesus won by dying the death we deserved because he lived the life we should have and didn't, and now we are restored to relationship with him, not everyone knows that. See, you knowing that Jesus has died for you, you knowing that Jesus has won the battle that Satan's already lost, is a huge gift. It's amazing, but not everyone knows about it. And because not everyone knows that the devil has lost, he can go around lying to people. He can go around saying, I'm going to win. Or saying that Jesus is a bad choice. And these are probably things you've heard. But he's lost. He's a sore loser who's trying to get everyone to follow him,
even though he's lost. And that's what we're learning about this term in Quake. We're learning about how we, as people who have been gifted to know that Jesus has won, can go about helping others know that. And once we share the news that Jesus has won and Satan has lost, then more people will be saved. And how great is that? I'm going to pray to close, and then we're going to move on to discussion times. Right? Dear Lord, thank you that Jesus has won. There is no if, there is no and, there is no but. It is done. Let us tell others. Amen.
So I hope you enjoyed today's talk. Now we're going to move on into discussion time. Because we're not there, we can't actually answer your questions in real time. So if anything brought up, any questions or anything you want to clarify, just get your parents to type your question out to this email right here. As for your worksheet, I'm just going to walk you through what you need to do. So you see here, we have some notes, space for notes. So if you want to go over the talk one more time and just jot down a few things that you might want to remember, or you could just skip to the questions. We haven't got very many, but I really want you to think about your answers, particularly for the after the talk ones. So these ones to think about. Don't just give me one word answers. I'd really like you to think about them a bit more. For the main point one, so the aim of it is you're meant to fill in the blanks. So the blank is over and blank has won. Right? Shouldn't be too difficult, but we just want to make sure. Also tell us in the email whether or not this is too easy, you want to make it harder, just so that we can keep on working together to make Quake as good as possible. Then we've got some things that you can pray for. Of course, you can pray for more. And then we've got one thing that we'd like you to discuss with your family for this week. We're going to have something that we really want you to be talking about each week, and that's for this week. And then, if you're with your siblings or something and you're finished quickly, then you've got a colouring in sheet. You can stick it on your wall. We're going to have a whole bunch of these, as well as craft. Speaking of craft, when you're done with this, move on.
So, we will be making a scroll. It's just like this. As you can see, it is a rolled up piece of paper with a seal on it. When I remove the seal, I can unravel it, and it shows us the important message: Jesus is King. For this craft, you will need a few pieces of paper, 2 at the most. You will need some pencils or pens or markers, whatever you have lying around that you can colour in the paper with. Sticky tape or blue tack or glue or staplers, whatever you've got lying about. And you may need to use scissors. So make sure you have a responsible adult in the room to help you when using the scissors. We do not want you to get hurt. The first step of making the craft is simply just the scroll part of it. So all you need is a piece of paper, and you write on it however you want the big words that Jesus is King, and then you're completely free to colour it in and decorate it however you want. I have personally decided to colour in the letters, big and bold. I've drawn a crown at the top because Jesus is King, and I've drawn a cross at the bottom to remind me of what Jesus has done for me and for you. And then on the back, I just coloured it gold with a yellow squiggly border. Once again, the design is totally up to you. Just start with your A4 piece of paper, write the big words, Jesus is King, and then decorate it however you want. So for the seal, it's a bit smaller of a part. Might be a bit more difficult, but that's alright. It only really consists of 2 parts. You've got a strip of paper here, which I've wound around and stuck it on itself with sticky tape, and then a little decoration piece, which is just a piece of paper cut out. So to make this, what you do is you get your extra sheet of paper and you just cut a thin strip on it, just like so. And we'll just cut it a bit shorter because I know we won't need it to be this long, just like so. And now you have the opportunity to colour it in however you want. I coloured my strip of paper in red to make it stand out. Once again, you can do this however you want. Once you have your strip of paper coloured in, you get your scroll. You wound your scroll up however tight you want, and then you get the strip of paper. You wrap it around the scroll, and then getting your sticky tape, you'll take a piece of sticky tape off and just stick it onto the strip of paper nicely, trying not to get it stuck on the scroll. And then, once you've done that, you can just remove the strip of paper from the scroll, and I'm just going to tuck these edges of the sticky tape in, like so. And there we go. We have our ring all done. I'll call it a ring. And now, just to do this extra decoration here, you can just draw it on the same piece of paper in a square or however you want, and then cut it out with the scissors. Yeah, and colour it in however you want, and cut it out, and then once you have, you can stick it to your ring, like so. I've used blue tack for mine, as it was easier, but once again, you can still use sticky tape. It's up to you. So, to wrap up, you should have your scroll that says Jesus is King, and you should have your seal, so you can wrap it up and keep it nice and safe. I hope you have fun, stay safe, and keep loving Jesus. I'll see you next week. Bye!
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you had a lot of fun learning more about what we're going to be doing at Quake. I hope you enjoyed the craft and the memory verse. Make sure you remember it for next week. Until then, see you later, guys.